Good morning. It's just after 10 o'clock on Thursday the 14th of February, Valentine's Day, so I hope you got a message of love from your nearest and dearest. And I've just walked about maybe a mile and a half north of Lyme Regis, and I'm heading for Charmouth, and ultimately I'm heading for Bridport. It's an absolutely beautiful day. It's just like a spring day in April and May. There's just a tiny little nip in the air, but I know the sun's going to get stronger, I hope. But I know most of the walk today, unlike yesterday, is going to be out in the open air, so hopefully I won't have as much mud to contend with. It was a wonderful walk yesterday, thoroughly enjoyable, and it was made better by having the wonderful company of Linda and Joy, and we walked together for, I don't know, probably half the walk actually before I started talking to lots of other walkers. It was great to see all those people, and so I sort of left Linda and Joy to it, and they walked on and I didn't catch them up, but it was great, loved it. The only disappointment from yesterday's walk was that I met a lovely couple, Lynn and Mike, and I took the telephone number, but there was no service at the time, and I took the postcode of their house, and they invited me around for a meal yesterday evening, well, at 6 o'clock, so I drove over there at 6 o'clock, and just with the postcode it was impossible to be able to find them because I didn't have a proper address. There was no service on the telephone, so I couldn't ring them. I went to the local pub, which I get the feeling is right where they live, or similar postcode, and there was a few people in the pub, a few lads at the bar, maybe 8, 10, and none of them had ever heard of Mike and Lynn, because they were new to the village, and I knocked on a few doors, and I probably spent an hour trying to find them. Even my laptop wouldn't work because there was no signal, so if they had have sent me a message or tried to ring or anything like that, I would have known. So if they're watching this programme, I'm really, really sorry that I didn't reach you, and I was really looking forward to seeing you again and having a meal and spending a bit of time with you. And I hope you do get in touch again. And I'm really sorry that I know, Lynn, you was cooking some fish for me, which was very nice, and I hope you and Mike shared it between you, and I'm really, really sorry, and I'm not going to be coming back that way now. I'm heading east, but it was a real pleasure to meet you, and you were lovely people, and I'm sorry about that. In response to the change in music with the films, I've got a few messages. I would like to get more. I hope you're going to help me with this, but everybody seems to be saying more or less the same thing. They liked the old music. Some people said they liked it, but it was getting a little bit tiresome because I was playing more or less the same songs, which is something that occurred to me quite some time ago. Some people said they're going to miss the old music because they really liked it, but I would say the new music seems to be initially a success. The problem I've got with it at the moment is I'm not familiar with it yet. It'll take me quite some time to work out the best tunes and the lengths of the songs and all this kind of stuff. And it's taking me a hell of a lot longer to edit. And all I'm doing at the moment is walking and editing. I was up again until midnight last night, and I didn't get it finished. I had to put it on the internet this morning at around about 7 o'clock. So as a consequence of that, everything gets delayed a little bit, travelling over here and then making myself a breakfast and all this kind of stuff. So it's going to take a while to settle down. But the one message that I did get, which I'd like to just mention to you, is from Charlie McKenna, who's in the States, who said that she really liked the music, and she said she's been watching the programmes like from day one, and it's kept going through 2 major operations and 36 radio therapy treatments and everything, and it cheers her up no end. So if that's what my programme and my music's doing for you, Callie, I'm really absolutely delighted, and thank you very much for your warm message. It was wonderful. I'm buoyed up by the fact that it's an absolutely glorious day. I'm going to be really looking forward to being in the sunshine, and unlike yesterday where I hardly saw the sun at all, it's going to be lovely to get some of these sun rays on me. So, with that in mind, here we go. It's 11:30 now, and I've reached Charmouth, and there's not a great deal to see here, to be perfectly honest with you. Disappointedly, there's no cafes, so I was hoping to have a nice cup of tea just to charge me up a bit. I've walked, I don't know, maybe 3, 4, 5 miles, something like that, I'm not quite sure, and mainly on roads and cutting across golf courses and all this kind of stuff because of a diversion. And the ironic thing is, I walked onto the beach at Charmouth and looked to my right, and I think Lyme Regis was about 1.5 miles away if I'd have walked along the beach, but you can't do that. It doesn't look very safe, and there's a lot of big rocks over your head and all that kind of stuff, and I'm not going to fall into that trap. Just to mention also that I've fallen behind a little bit with replying to people's messages because of the amount of editing that I've been doing. I haven't really had time to do anything else apart from just walk, edit and sleep, and that's about it really. And I know I last night I started late because of going over to see those people, and so I got a late start, so I got a late finish and finished it off this morning, posted it off, quickly moved the van over here, had a very quick breakfast, a quick cup of tea, and I'm on the road, and it's like non-stop at the moment because I've got to take advantage of this absolutely gorgeous weather. I'm not rushing it that much. I know my capabilities, I know what I can do. I've walked 2 hard days since I got back from my long weekend, and this is going to be the 3rd hard day. I'm looking up to my, just slightly up to my left, there's a huge hill that I've got to climb, but I'm sure I'm going to get a hell of a view from the top. It looks a bit of a tough walk, but with my pole, I'm only using one in my right hand, and it does make a massive difference. I wish I'd have adopted this idea a long time ago. I know Ralph kind of talked me into it really, and I'd just like to say thank you very much, Ralph. You're doing me a big favour here when you're tackling these kind of hills, and it does definitely make a difference going up and down, especially in the mud. So I'll crack on.